given me the time and made me this talk so that I can share my ideas with everybody else. It is so nice of you to give me the time. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. Now, coming to the book, the name of the book is Salaja. What does that mean? Salaja means serving all with love and affection just for the joy of achievement. This has been my concept. And not only that, the two first letters of my husband Saleem, the two letters of my name Lakshmi, JA means in Sanskrit it is birth, because this idea of the hospital has been born out of us. Though we belong to different cultures, different religions, we just wanted to help people with love and affection, whatever they are needing it at the appropriate time. That is the concept. That's why I want to have this concept as Salaja. And by doing this service, we are not only helping the other person who is in need, we are helping ourselves, because our serotonin, our good hormones will increase when you do something nice to others and you feel happy to yourself. Not only that, if somebody sees us doing that, they'll also get more good hormones. This has been proved, and this is not my conclusion. So this book is written like a handbook for preventive plastic surgery, which is a rare thing to be written by a plastic surgeon. But with all the last 4 decades of practice of plastic surgery, I do feel that some procedures can be prevented or postponed for a longer time, because we don't need them if we are careful about ourselves, about our lifestyle, and also about the diet and the stress-free life. This is all the secret of postponing the cosmetic procedures for a while. So the cover page is, this is a heart. I don't know whether you are able to see it or not, and hands holding together. This is the cover page, and you can see both of us helping each other. Either it is a perception, whether you are climbing down or going up. Having a partner's helping hand will make our relationship much nicer and much beautiful. That is what I want to convey. Either you step down from your ambition or you climb up along with your partner. That is the secret of happy married life. The back cover, that is, you can see me walking behind the children. We always think that we should leave our footsteps so that children will follow. But I believe, let them choose their own footsteps and let us guide them, standing behind and advising them when it is needed. That way, their potential will be appreciated and they will feel more happy instead of us pushing something to do as per our wish. That is my understanding. That's how I brought up my children. So the best gift that one can have is good health. As per WHO definition, the health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. It conveys a lot. It is not just the absence of disease and you are living like a healthy human being, but you should be more productive. You should be able to help others, do something for your community, society, or nation, or the world in general. That is indirectly conveying that helping others is the best way. That is keeping ourselves healthy. So every person is like a full circle, and we have the power within us to transform ourselves, to nurture the good things and make ourselves as holistically very healthy. And this book, though it is a small book, can give you some basic principles how to achieve this. And what is wellness? It is not just the physical wellness, the mind, and as well as the spirit. All of them should be well balanced and in a wellness mode. That is only possible with yoga and meditation. That's what I believe. And not only that, as a doctor, I aim for holistic health of all of us, wherever we are, because I believe in an ounce of prevention, it is worth a pound of cure. Most of the things in plastic surgery, we deal with many accidents, burns, and lifestyle diseases. All these can be prevented or postponed if we are careful about ourselves. So, how did I conceive this idea of the writing book? 15th of July is considered as the Plastic Surgeons Day. And that day, everywhere in the world, they make an attempt to bring the awareness of the public about plastic surgery. So they usually conduct some camps, some awareness videos, or some case histories, or do some health screening for plastic surgery problems. But that day I was in Italy because my daughter-in-law was having an emergency cesarean section. So I was helping her and I was making some food in a very small kitchen in a hotel, a South Indian dish without any proper ingredients that what we need. I think while cooking, I was thinking, yes, that is plastic surgery, because with whatever is available, we should be able to do some good result to the patient, whether it is a defect produced by accidents or trauma or burns or disease or surgery. We should be able to provide some relief from the defect by whatever is available with the patient and also the financial status of the patient. So in India, when we were doing the surgeries, we should always keep this in mind and plan accordingly. That is the actual plastic surgery. That's what I feel. And what is the effect of my thinking? I wrote a book, it has come out, but I was too scared to get it printed because I was not sure whether it will be helpful to others, to read and learn something. So I have sent the book to two plastic surgeons, one senior plastic surgeon retired from Michigan, and other is an active plastic surgeon in India. So both of them have written, it is a very nice book, it is a very unusual book. You can go ahead and get it printed. So I was happy and I was confident to go for printing. Next, I wrote to a retired teacher, a grandmother, to read the book, and she has written a very nice review saying that if she had read this book during her pregnancy, so many things could have been avoided. So I felt happy to get it printed. And this book has been dedicated to my classmate and Hema Parmi, who died of pancreas cancer. And I just wanted to say a few things about the batch of our group. We joined in 1966 at the age of 16 with many ambitions and desires to be doctors and do something or other. Out of that batch, 37 have passed away, and she is one among us, and she was the best outgoing student. So I was feeling a little bit philosophical at the news. So I was thinking, what is success? Success is something which we feel ourselves from inside out. It is not the material things. It is not what you achieve physically, but it is something emotional aspect. That's what I feel success. As long as you have enough money to have a small, decent house to live in and enough funds for the children's education and retirement, I don't think we need much more finances. This is my perception. So I felt that all of us are successful in our own ways, whatever could be the achievement that we have done. So I think that feeling gives us a positive outlook and makes us feel more happy about life. So yoga has been an adjunct modality for my surgical practice since the time I have started. I actually appointed a yoga teacher for my patients, for especially burn victims, and it was used like a physiotherapy extension after the procedures, and meditation was taught to them so that they can be blending into the society without much difficulty. in obesity management and also for the care of prenatal and postnatal patients, and post liposuction to maintain their weight, and post bariatric surgery, post facelift and tummy tuck, and body dysmorphic disorders. In all these conditions, I had yoga as an adjunct modality to help my patients. And not only that, for my own personal benefit, I used yoga because I had long surgical hours in the theaters, which has caused disc prolapse twice with severe pain, which I could postpone the surgery for 5 years without ill effects. And also after surgery, I could get back into the work very comfortably and easily within short duration with my yoga. And also while taking chemotherapy for my rare skin cancer, yoga has helped me a lot. Now I have named it as yoga aesthetics because the aesthetic surgery can be postponed with yoga. That's why I call it as yoga aesthetics. And yoga brings us close to our natural living. It can be a part of our day-to-day life, and we can say goodbye to our fatigue, tiredness, stress, stiffness, ill health, inefficiency, and insomnia. If we can avoid all these things, we will be holistically much healthier and happier. And how about preventive cosmetic surgery? Especially in the face, if we can do facial yoga and also some breathing practices which help us to open up the spaces in the face and also gives us a glow to the face because of the increased blood circulation. That way we can avoid Botox injections and also facelifts for some time. And this is my philosophy, and this I have observed myself. So, but there are certain conditions where you cannot just avoid surgeries. That is some congenital defects, birth defects, or post-traumatic defects. Even in those conditions, a simple procedure like fat grafting to correct the contour defects, that is much easier. That can be considered as a simpler procedure instead of going for the traditional procedures. And how to care about self from menarche to menopause, because there are so many physiological changes, anatomical changes that we come across, especially the women. So I have written how to care during that period, especially the breast. Sometimes with ignorance, they may not be able to support the breast with proper bra, and all that might cause ptosis, that is sagging of the breast, or unequal sizes. All this can be avoided if they know how to care about the taking care of the breast during that time. And how to care during pregnancy. This is the most wonderful period for anybody, for any woman to go through. But there are unavoidable physical changes, physiological changes, and also emotional changes. And sometimes, if we are not conscious of those changes, which can be avoided or can be brought back to the original position of antenatal time, we can just keep ourselves as if we never had a delivery. And you can avoid getting the stretch marks on the tummy. You can avoid getting a flabby tummy, and also the weakness of pelvic muscles. All these things can be avoided provided we know how to care and what type of exercises to do, and also what type of yoga you can practice. That is very, very helpful. And I have written what are the types of exercises and what can be done. And how does yoga play a role in one's life? And by following the yogic principles and also Patanjali yoga principles, we can make a better version of ourselves. The best part of our body and also our mind can be improved because it reduces the anxiety and stress levels, improves our sleep, and also the emotional health improves. We develop a positive outlook, and our relationship improves, not only with the family and with the people around us. And finally, we become a better person ourselves. So what are the types of care that or I have written is, there is some traditional ways of taking care in the immediate postnatal period, which I'm sorry to say do not see in this part of the world. In India, the women usually go to the mother's house for delivering the baby, and they stay there at least for 40 days. During this time, the woman is not allowed to do any work. She is only allowed to rest and take care of the baby. And also, she is given oil massages and a good diet. And also, freshly cooked food is given to her. And the baby is allowed bath and how to care for the baby. All these things are, taught by the mother to the woman. And usually this helps to get the strength back. The pelvic muscles, the abdominal muscles, and everything will get back to the original shape. And you can prevent the flabby tummy or divergation of recti. And not only in India, in Japan, Mexico, and China, they have this traditional way of taking care of the women in the postnatal period. And not only that, there is a one simple method which we do in India, that is belly binding. That is, you just tie a cloth or a sari over the tummy after the delivery, which helps the uterus to get back to the original shape, and also reduces the striae on the tummy, and also reduces the flabbiness of the tummy, and it increases the tone of the muscle because it pushes the tissues backwards. During pregnancy, as you know, the tissues are stretched outwards. So this binding can help to push it backwards. And surgery may be preferred in certain situations. I don't say that surgery is completely contraindicated, but it might be essential to go for surgery. That is some type of congenital breast deformities where there is a disparity in size, or there is an underdevelopment, or much larger size. Sometimes there can be nipple deformities. All these need surgical corrections, which I have mentioned. What are the things that can be corrected surgically? And also for postpartum period, if there is a massive divertication of the muscles, that means the muscles of the tummy get separated and the tummy comes forward. That can happen with you have multiple pregnancies or twin delivery or heavy baby. And however you try, it may not go back to original shape. In that case, you might need surgical correction, or sometimes there can be hernia where there is a defect in the abdominal wall and the contents come out. That time you need to have hernia repair plus divarication. And there might be some irreversible body changes which cannot be avoided with conservative means. That time you need to undergo surgery. This is in a nutshell, I can say that is mammoplasty. Sometimes you might increase the size, that is augmentation, or sometimes reduction. And the simpler procedures have to be identified, like fat grafting, which is a recent trend in plastic surgery, where you take the fat tissue from the body of the individual with a small syringe and needle and try to inject to the part where it is needed to build up the bulkiness. So it is a very simple procedure, and that can be considered as a preventive plastic surgery to some extent. And whatever I have told you, this is out of my experience of the 4 decades, seeing the many types of defects and deformities. Either it is trauma or iatrogenic or congenital. I can say that a simpler method of doing the procedure is most ideal, especially in our setup where the finances is the constraint for us. And at the same time, we can do wonderfully good results. And at the same time, every person has to understand what is life and what is our dharma, that is our duty. And once we understand that philosophy, it is easy for us to be happy and healthy. We don't overlook these things and make ourselves, like a psychologically depressed persons. So try to understand yourself. What is that you can do? Contribute yourself. So For that, what I felt was, yes, as a plastic surgeon, we can do much more. But as a human being or as an individual, I can do much more by creating my Salaja Trust. As a doctor, I have done enough. So as a person also, I can help others who are in need of that. Anything like a support, a nice word, in a smile, just sharing something, sharing the time, that itself is good enough. And on a hot, sunny day, just giving a water bottle to somebody on the road, or just giving an umbrella, which is very common in our Indian setup. People walk without any slippers or shoes, and they don't have anything to cover. And just giving that, so such a simple thing also can make us very happy. So what I feel is, if life is for service and service brings riches and fulfillment, get out of yourself and do something for others. This has been my philosophy, and I hope I haven't bored you with my book, and I'm free to answer your questions. Thank you, Christina. You can ask me questions if you feel like I'm ready to answer. You can unmute yourself and ask me questions, please.
Yes, if anyone has questions or if they'd like to put it in the chat box, that's fine too. And thank you, Dr. Lakshmi. Does anyone have any questions about health, about
Yeah, so many
nutrition?
traditional ways I was talking about in India.
I have I don't know if a question or just a comment. I had my breast removed. I'm going on 4 weeks this week. And so just getting used to it. I had a mastectomy